And we're live. Hey everyone! Thanks for joining us tonight or afternoon in US. Welcome to my second webinar. Today we're going to talk about how to actually launch your website, but do it yourself in less than 30 days or less. I'm going to wait a few more minutes until everyone joins, even though this is a recorded webinar and you'll have access to the recorded version afterwards. Just a few things before we get started. There might be some glitches. There will be actually some glitches in the presentation. So, but I hope it won't affect your viewing. Okay. If you have any questions, make good use of the chat below this video, below me. Below this video is a chat. You have to log in with Facebook or Twitter, and you can ask questions. Unfortunately, there are only 10 spaces available for now, but I hope it will be enough. Some people are not that talkative, so that's fine. Okay, I guess we can get started. I'm gonna switch from this video window and share my screen with you. And I will make sure that this time you will be actually able to view the presentation, not like last time. Okay. Let me check to make sure you can actually view it. Okay. Present. Okay. Should be all right. I will not make it full screen because that's the error I did last time. So you will see almost everything. Okay. Let's do this. So the title of the webinar is again how to launch your own website yourself in 30 days. But before we talk about the plan, we have to get started with some info about your domain name, hosting, which CMS platform you should use. CMS stands for Content Management System. And then we'll get into more exciting things like how to choose a template. Okay, how to choose a template and the plan for 4 weeks to get you started. Okay. A few words about me for those of you who didn't join the first webinar. My name is Mihai Herman, or Romanian Herman. I blog over at mailextravaganza.com. I have 5 years online experience and owned over 7 online businesses. I graduated power engineering last year, but last September I chose to do this full-time, to blog full-time, and now I'm actually also a business coach. And I own 3 blogs that generate over 100,000 page views every month. So today we'll talk about where can you purchase your domain name and a few tips to get a cheap deal, hosting, options and suggestions for hosting. I have cheap version and I also have premium version for you. Why WordPress is the perfect platform for you and all the features it has. We're going to talk about Wordpress.com and Wordpress.org. I hope it's okay. How to choose the right WordPress template and an action plan on launching your beta version blog in 30 days. Every now and then I'm going to drink some water, so there will be some pauses along the way, but don't be scared. It's okay. I'm still here, like right now. Okay. First part is the domain name. And this was one of the things we've talked about in my first webinar. It was one of the blocks, trying to find the perfect domain name. And remember those brands that I told you about, like secretbloggersbusiness.com or I Will Teach You to Be Rich? They are both are $1 million businesses. And it's not worth it to look for the perfect domain name because you need to get started, and you can make a brand out of everything. Even if it's your own first and last name.com, or if it's a business name, okay? Second thing, where should you purchase your domain name? I've purchased probably like at least 30 domain names in the last 5 years, and I've only used GoDaddy.com. I know Namecheap.com is another good option, but I've never used them. A lot of people say that GoDaddy are not reliable. Some people had trouble with them, but they've worked just fine for me. In 5 years, I never had one problem. Don't worry about remembering all these names, because after tomorrow I will send you an email with the bonus, the PDF with all the resources mentioned in this webinar. Okay, so be focused on retaining as much as possible, and I will also send you the presentation as a bonus. Okay. So I recommend going for the .com extension. It just feels more professional. Or if you have a startup, you can choose the .io, the .io. It's very popular lately. If you want to get a cheap deal, I've discovered that you can Google GoDaddy coupons in 2015 or 16, or Namecheap.com coupons, and look there for deals. They have like 30% off or 20% off for renewals and all kinds of deals, and you can get it cheaper. It can only save you a few dollars, but maybe those dollars you can invest in hosting for 1 month. So it can be a good deal. And when you're first starting out, every dollar counts, and I know that. And it only takes 5 minutes to do it. So why not, right? Auto renew. Make sure you put this on after you sign up your domain name. It's a feature that is so important. In the beginning stages of my businesses, I used to only buy domain names for 1 year because of budget restrictions, And at one point, we almost lost estilotendencies.com, which is our biggest website, actually, because the auto renew was turned off. And I totally forgot about it. So make sure it's turned on if you don't want, if you want to keep your domain name. I like to be positive, so I pay attention to those things. I'm not gonna get into more details with it. This should get you started. Just take 30 minutes or 1 hour to search to search GoDaddy or search Namecheap and see what available domain names they have. When you search for a name, they also give you a lot of suggestions. So maybe you find your perfect domain name in those suggestions. Take 1 hour, flip a coin, and just buy it. Okay, get started. The second part in this webinar is hosting. You have the domain name, but you need a server where you have all the content, databases, images, articles, and everything. Okay, this is your hosting. I have 3 hosting recommendations, and I'm going to talk about one of them in more details because this is the one we use, and we had it was such an incredible experience since we switched to presslabs.com about 18 months ago. They are our hosting provider, and we live in the same city. That makes it much easier, but you can use them even if you're in Australia or in US. It just doesn't matter because they are so big and professional, and they use servers, Amazon servers, which are the most reliable servers on the internet. They have servers all over the world. They have this all-in-one service. You know, when you have a website and you start to grow, you have to think about other stuff, other stuff like backup or CDN service or Cloudflare and security. With Press Labs, you have all these services in one good deal. Because if you want a good backup, you pay at least $5 every month. Usually the backups you get with hostings are not very good. And if you want a separate backup service like Wordpress, it starts at $5 per month. A CDN service is a content delivery network, so it makes sure that they serve your content to a user based on the geographic location of the user. They actually serve your content from the closest server to the users accessing your website, which is huge because it can increase your load time. It's not the same to serve someone from US from a server in Germany. So it does this automatically. A CDN costs and starts at $15 a month, and a Cloudflare to speed up your website and your header and cache and stuff like that is $20 a month. So, and also they have this incredible support they offer. Like a few weeks ago, I got this email and they said, "Hey Mihai, just wanted to let you know that we blocked an IP that was trying to hack into untiltedtendencies.com. Everything is all right, just have a good day." And to me, that's incredible. I don't have to worry about almost anything. It's also safe to go viral because with classic servers, they tend to go down if you have too much traffic at once because it's shared with a lot of other people. But with Press Labs, you can have as much traffic as you want and as you can pay for. It will scale up by default. In 18 months, I had 100% uptime, which is a big thing. And the last thing is you can get a big discount if you sign up through me. I cannot say the discount live. If you email me, if you're interested, I'm happy to give you more details and hook you up with them. Okay? Just email me at mihai@mihaiherman.com. Other hosting providers that I've used HostGator. It was the first hosting provider that we've used, and it was really good when we were small. I mean, when you're first starting out, HostGator or Bluehost can be enough. Bluehost, I've never tried them, but a lot of the marketing gurus out there are recommending them, so I guess they should be good. And VP Engine is something like Press Labs, but a bit more expensive. My girlfriend's health coaching blog, Rosvita, some of you know her, is still hosted at WordPress for now, since the traffic is low and we don't need too much support. Julie, unfortunately, I cannot. It's a deal that I have with them, and because it's a big discount, I have to keep it private. Just email me and I will tell you everything you need to know. Okay. Yes, you will have all the links in the bonus PDF that I'm going to send out tomorrow, because it's not ready yet. Okay, the third part is why WordPress. When we started out, we've used Blogspot, the platform from Google, but it had so many bugs that we just couldn't live with it anymore. This is the glitch I was talking to you about. So I'm going to talk about WordPress.org or WordPress versus WordPress.com. WordPress.com, you need your own hosting. You have total control. No, with WordPress.org, you have your own hosting. You have total control over the content and the costs, and you can install any plugin or template that you want. With WordPress.com, they provide the hosting for you. You have limited control. You can only install themes and plugins that were created by WordPress. And it's much more expensive if you want to scale up. I like to have control over everything that I want. So I would always choose WordPress.org. You can actually install this. You need hosting, and I believe 99% of the hosting services offer one-click install for WordPress. So you don't have to worry about coding or where exactly should you install it and stuff like that. They help you out. If not, you can email them, and I'm 100% sure they will help you out. Okay. Let me check if I want to say anything else. WordPress is WordPress.org is very intuitive. If you spend a few hours playing with it while watching some training videos, I'm gonna include those too in the bonus PDF, you will become a pro in a matter of hours. And I love it because it constantly gets updated to fix bugs, to make it more user-friendly, and of course to keep viruses away. Water, anyone? Okay, so now to the more juicy part of this webinar. How do you actually choose a template? What to look for? And the first thing, of course, is if it's responsive. This means if your template will automatically take the shape of your mobile phone or tablet. So you don't have to install other plugins and have a web developer custom design a mobile version for you. And I have a screenshot here from Google Analytics for estilotendencies.com, and you can actually see that if you're not mobile, you don't exist actually. You can see that over 63% of the traffic comes from mobile, and only not even 25% comes from a desktop. So this is huge. And by choosing a template that is responsive, you cut costs afterwards, because there are some free plugins to make it responsive, but they don't look as good as as if the template was designed like that from the beginning. And also, to pay someone or invest in a more professional plugin will cost you double, if not triple. Make sure it's responsive. But usually these days, all the templates should be responsive. Otherwise, I cannot see how they would sell it. Second thing is the shortcode. A shortcode is a shorter version of code to insert different web elements like buttons, boxes, alerts, tables, columns, tooltips, and even more. It looks something like the example I have below, where you, in the braces, you just have, like, example for color. You just insert the code for your color. For title, you just write the title that you want. For shadow, you just write yes or no. So it's much more intuitive than having to write HTML, which makes it much easier for you if you're starting out, if you don't want to learn any HTML, and I totally get you. So make sure it has shortcodes, and a lot of them. If it doesn't have, if you already bought a template and it doesn't have shortcodes, there are some plugins that are free and will give you this functionality. Just Google them. WordPress shortcodes plugin, and I'm sure you'll get a lot of versions. Ready-made pages. This is huge because it's easier to tweak a page than to create it from scratch. And this is true even for more advanced users, because templates have bugs and they can create them, but because of all the WordPress versions, not everyone has the updated version and all that stuff. It can be very hard to recreate something that was made by the people that created the template. Make sure they give you access to those ready-made pages. Fourth, it's very important to be updated often. Why? Because we had a template that was not updated in 18 months, believe it or not. It had so many bugs that over 50% of plugins were not working with that template. So make sure it's often updated. And I will give you a website where you can purchase really good templates. And in the bonus PDF, I'm going to include a selection of 5 templates that I can vouch for, and especially the template that we use for all our websites. If you scroll down, you can see the updated on the page on teamforest.net. That's the website I'm talking about. If you scroll down on the template page, you can see how often was it updated, and you can make a decision based on that. And again, templates have bugs. 5, the number of sales. You have to care more about the quality than originality. You cannot buy a template that was only purchased 5 times and expect it to work brilliant. Okay? The template that we used was downloaded over 150,000 times. And I'm not worried about it, because it's so powerful. It's drag and drop. It has so many shortcodes and features and sliders that you can still make it unique. It's kind of impossible to make 2 versions that are actually the same, only if you use their ready-made pages, which are a big help. Drag and drop, just because it's so much easier, and it's perfect for beginners. I used to tweak templates and read all kind of stuff online, how to tweak them using HTML, but it's not worth the time. Even if you pay a few dollars more, even if it's $50 more, which I doubt, go for a drag and drop template. It's much easier and it's actually fun. You will have fun creating your website. 7, support. Again, templates have bugs, and even if everything is working according to the plan, even if you're an experienced WordPress user and you've tweaked so many websites in the past, some things will not work. Some things do not work according to the documentation, according to the video tutorials. So make sure they offer support, and hopefully the support will be good and will be able to resolve your problems in 24-48 hours. If you're a beginner, I would aim for templates that also offer video tutorials. It's much easier to see how they actually edit some parts of the template. Everything else that you need is according to the needs and vision, and the vision that you have for your own website. Look for some of you, the sidebar is a very important feature of the website. Look for custom-made widgets that they have for the website. Okay. For some of you, only care about WooCommerce compatibility, which is a plugin to sell stuff online. Others want the cool parallax effect, which is awesome. Just Google it if you don't know what it is. So make sure you make a list of all the features that you like. We're going to get to that in the next section. And look for those in the template. But keep an eye on these features that I've told you. Let me drink some water. If you have any questions, please write them down in the chat. I'm gonna get through them during this webinar. So we finally got to the action plan. I've structured the action plan into 4 weeks. And I've put a total time for each week. The first week, it's only 30 hours. Only 20 hours, sorry. And then the following weeks are, excuse me. What was that feature? Which feature? Let me check. Parallax. Okay, parallax effect. You'll love it, Julie. Okay, so the first week, it's only 20 hours, but then the next 3 weeks will be 30 hours. I'm confident you can do this, even if you have a regular job right now. It's only 1 month, and you can put these hours to to launch your website. Okay, first thing, you have to study the competition. I said 240 minutes. That's about 7 minutes per website. If you want to make a list of 20, yeah. Yes, with 2L. It's parallax with 2L. You sign in. Sign in first. No. Okay. Sorry. So you make a list of 20 websites or blogs in your industry and study them. Take notes of design elements that you like, and then look for them in the features and shortcodes of the template. In order to get an idea of how you want your website to look like, you can just write down features out of the blue. And it's okay to actually steal them from your competition. You can look for features and design elements in other websites that are not in your industry, but I strongly recommend to look for in your industry, because that stuff works. Okay, especially if there are established bloggers or websites or health coaches in your case. Keep in mind that certain elements can only be created by an experienced developer or web designer. And some features you can find in the template, and other features you can create using different plugins, free and paid. But make that list, study those pages, make the list, and then afterwards you can decide what compromises you can make. Okay? Don't just look at the home page. Make sure you click on an article, go to their about page, visit their contact page, and take notes. This part will help you so much in the following weeks when you create your plan and when you actually build your website. This is crucial. That's why it's the first step. Then, in the first week as well, buy the domain and hosting. I said 2 hours to buy the domain and hosting, but I believe that 90 minutes you can take just to decide what domain name you want and which hosting provider will you choose. Also, when you purchase the domain name, it's usually cheaper if you secure it for 2 or more years. Just a small tip. Third thing is to start looking for templates. Again, I'm going to give you resources where to look for templates. They have thousands, if not tens of thousands of templates that were professionally created. And I'd say you save about 5 hours just to look for templates, take notes based on what you studied, the competition and all those design elements that you loved, and then decide and actually purchase the template. Do this. Take this step, purchase the template, and never look back. If you don't like it, you can change it in 6 months, in 1 year, or I'm sure you will make enough money to actually hire a developer to create a custom made for you in 1 year. What is important right now is to get started, get that website out there, give your ideas to the world. The fourth thing in the first week is to watch the WordPress videos that I've included in the PDF bonus. I will only give you a few videos that are general. Just watch them, because you will actually do stuff afterwards, after you install WordPress. But for now, just watch and try to learn as much as possible. This should only take you about 30 minutes. Only if you're an overachiever and you go on YouTube and search for more videos. The fifth thing is to actually install WordPress. This is literally a 2-minute job, but with all the, I understand that some of you are beginners, and I gave you 15 minutes to look for that in the cPanel of your hosting provider and install WordPress. Then I recommend you start playing with WordPress. Go back to the videos that I've sent you, watch them again, and try to reproduce what they do. Don't worry about messing things up, because you just can't mess them up so badly that it cannot be undone. And if you do, you can actually email your hosting provider to delete the WordPress version that you've installed and then install it again. So everything is figure outable, like Marie Forleo says. Play with WordPress, see how it works, publish an article, see how you can edit the article, play with plugins, install plugins, just play with it. Get yourself comfortable. The seventh thing is to install the template. Again, this is a 1-minute job, but you have 15 minutes to find it, find where you install the template. Maybe it's big template and you have a slow internet connection or whatever. 15 minutes should be more than enough. And with every template, you receive a documentation. Their documentation are usually long and kind of boring. So take 3 hours to read it once and see what the template can offer you. You'll get to use those in the next week. It seems like a lot of stuff, but you should be able to accomplish this in 20 hours. If it's more than that, it's okay. Don't freak out. There's nothing wrong with you if you cannot do this in 20 hours. If you do it in less than 20 hours, congrats. Get yourself a cup of coffee and relax for the rest. Week 2. This week, you will work around 30 hours. Give yourself 720 minutes to learn how to use your template. This is, I believe, 13 hours, 12 or 13 hours. And just go back. Hopefully they offer video tutorials. Go back, watch those video tutorials, and reproduce what they do. Install the template, install the ready-made pages if they offer you any. Play with those, change things, add pictures, modify paragraphs. Play with it and get comfortable and see what exactly you can do with your template. This is very important, because based on this, you will have a lot more creative ideas when you come up with the plan at the third step this week. If you know what you can do with the template, you will have much more ideas. So play with it, get yourself comfortable, and allow time. Then you can set up the initial WordPress settings. You have settings, you have reading, writing. You have to give your website a name, and all that stuff that you will see that in the video tutorials. I'm not going to get into that. For an advanced user, it only takes 10 minutes, but 80 minutes should be more than enough for anyone to figure out everything. And the third step, and it's very important for what it's about to come, is to come up with a plan. You have 1,000 minutes to come up with a plan. And I'm going to talk about what the plan means in a few minutes. This is the easy part. Week 3 and 4, allow yourself 30 hours per week to actually build your website. If you did everything right in week 1 and 2, week 3 and 4 should be the easy part. Okay? The plan. I found a quote that I love. It says, failing to plan is planning to fail. That's how important this part is. So the plan. Decide on what pages will you include. Write down exactly what pages you want to build. I recommend homepage, about page, contact, and services. Services is very important for you as health coaches, so that people know from the beginning that you offer a lot of free information, you want to help out, but you also have paid services. These are mandatory. There are other pages like resources, freebies that are not mandatory, and you can actually launch the beta version of your website and add other pages and features along the way. I actually recommend you do it this way. It's okay to start thinking about the perfect version of your website, but I'll have to be blunt with you. If you want to launch the first version with freebies, resources, recommended books, an email course, 5 articles, 2,000 word articles, so that people have what to read, it won't happen in 30 days. Launch with just an article. The about page is very important. It's one of the most visited page on your website, and it's how people connect with you. Contact page, you create that contact page in 10 minutes or less. Easy. Usually templates have ready-made pages for contact page, so it's a 10-minute job. And services page, it's more than enough, and it will give you a boost of enthusiasm and energy that will push you to add more pages along the way. What's important right now for you is to get started, get yourself out there, and start sharing your ideas. Add everything else along the way. That's what I do with my websites. There will always be something more to do. Another freebie, another product, tweak a page, add more services, publish another video, article, change the sidebar, add more plugins and stuff like that. If you wait until you do all of this perfect, it won't happen. The second very important thing with the plan is to sketch on a piece of paper every single page that you want to build. It will be much easier to build them afterwards because you will have the big picture in mind. And that's when actually learning what your template can do for you is very important. If you really want to launch in 30 days, you cannot jump this step. You risk getting into a lot of frustration, which can only lead to self-doubt. And the third thing is to break it down into manageable tasks. If you wake up in the morning and you think, oh my God, I have to create the about page and the whole sidebar. It's crazy. you will be paralyzed. But if you wake up and see, oh, I have to add one widget in the sidebar, I have to add a picture in the sidebar, I have to install one plugin and write my story, just my story today for the about page, it's much easier and you will actually do it. Questions. That was it for this webinar. I also, a recommendation is to make it as a challenge. To make it your personal challenge to launch your website in 30 days. Make it public. Share on Facebook, Twitter, or anything else, everywhere else. Sorry. Because that will keep you accountable. Shame can be a good motivator sometimes. That's what I did. That's what Rosvita did with her website, and we managed to launch it on Easter Day, which was a lot of tension, but we did it. And with my website, I was able to redo it in about 96 hours. So make it a challenge and just focus on that. I will wait a few more seconds if anyone has any questions, because I know there's a slight delay with Google Hangouts. Again, the questions, please write them down in the chat below. If you don't have any questions right now, maybe it was a lot of information, you can always email me at mihai@mihaiherman.com. And make sure you join the Health Coaches community, healthcoachescommunity.com. And I have a special channel in the Slack group where you can ask questions and I answer them, usually in about 24 hours, but I cannot guarantee that all the time. I have a question here, let me check. Thank you, Dana. Julie, I don't recommend you. I recommend you go with WordPress from the beginning. That's my recommendation. You can start with the website, but it will be much harder to switch when they stop paying for it. It's what we did when we first starting out. We started with blogger.com, but it was a pain in the ass, excuse me, to switch to WordPress.com. And we've lost a lot of search engine results. We lost a lot of pages, a lot of deal with redirection, and it's much harder. It's easier to take 30 days now and do it right from the beginning than to switch afterwards. And with WordPress, it's also much easier to add plugins. There are so many plugins, and I'm gonna change. I'm gonna give you a list of some plugins as well. I'm gonna write this down so I don't forget. There are plugins for search engine optimization, plugins for Twitter, plugins for how your website appears on Facebook when someone shares your link on Facebook. There are plugins for widgets, and you cannot afford not to use WordPress. Let me put it this way. If anyone, can you write? Okay. Anyone else has any questions? Any other questions? If not, I'm gonna thank you all for joining. And wait for my email tomorrow with the bonus PDF. and the plugins that I recommend. Go for it. You can actually do this. You can launch your website in 30 days or less. And if you do, please email me. I would love to hear from you. If you have any problems or issues along the way, email me and I will do my best to respond and help you out. Okay? Have a good night. Have a great day. Oh, I have to announce the winner of the giveaway. We had a giveaway this past 2 weeks, and the winner actually wins 3 months of coaching with me, business coaching. And he is John van Vlardingen. I hope I said that right. I will actually email you, John, with more details and how we get started. There were a few people that signed up, but he was the only one that managed to bring 3 more people to the webinar. Congratulations, John. I cannot wait to get started and see what awesome results we can get in the next 3 months that we're gonna work together. Okay, that was it for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you at the next webinar. Have a good night, everyone.